Hi, I'm George Donnells. I'm the host of the channel, Washington's Secret Places. This is the second vlog I've done. I've opened the pages of the Washington Delorme map book and to a favorite part of the state. And this is the area below the Potholes Reservoir in eastern Washington. Now, it's a real hot day today here in western Washington, and that being the case, you can be sure it's hotter than blazes in the area I'm going to talk about right now. But after all, it is August, and the time to go to the Columiba Wildlife Refuge and the surrounding department, Washington State Department of Wildlife Lands, is in the spring and the fall. Yeah, in any case, there is a series of interconnected seep lakes that were carved out that make for just such visual beauty. We've done a lot of canoeing in this area. I'm looking at the map now, and for example, the Hampton Lakes, which are two lakes that are actually in the Columiba Wildlife Refuge itself. They're interconnected, short portage, meaning like a 15-20 foot portage from one lake to the other. There's a slight elevation difference. Beautiful canoeing lakes that I have such a vivid memory of when we canoed these lakes for the first time. The frogs were so abundant that in merely pulling our canoe from one lake to another, frogs would jump into the boat. I mean, it was just, they were just so thick, they were like mosquitoes. As I recall, these lakes have been known for wintering over of thousands of mallards. And as I say, they're just a really interesting shoreline because of the combination of rocks, rock walls, places that you'll find swallow nests, the kind that are built out of mud on the sides of these rock faces, and a shoreline that's always variable and it's just exquisitely beautiful, for lack of a better term, to canoe these waters. We've done some hiking. Our absolute favorite lake is Quail Lake, and it's in the state wildlife lands to the east of the refuge. Look it up on Google. Quail Lake is in some ways kind of a nondescript lake that you can't drive down to it. You have to walk down to it. You park up on the bluff and walk down. However, camping there, you have an incredible vista of kind of buttes in the distance. Quail Lake nestled down below you, and the hiking is really, there are trails. They're primarily cattle trails because cattle do graze in this area. They have grazing rights, and sometimes you have to keep an eye out for these big behemoth cattle. Not that they are going to attack you, but they're just kind of intimidating, so you can look to stay out of their way. But walking the cattle trails, there are human trails between these lakes, but there's a real opportunity just to kind of follow your heart and just to go in whatever direction looks attractive to you, because again, this is open land, meaning it's not tree covered. This is desert, and just, okay, I want to see what it looks like on the top of that bluff. You kind of find your way up to the top and check it out. yeah, we've had some just wonderful hiking experiences, in addition to canoeing experiences in this area south of the Potholes Reservoir. I have some wonderful video and photos up on the Black Lake, which is in the Goose Lakes Wildlife Unit, which is west of the Columiba Wildlife Refuge, on this site already. We have done other lakes such as the Morgan Lake and Half Moon Lake combination. Morgan Lake is actually outside of the refuge. The Half Moon Lake is mostly in the Columiba Wildlife Refuge. You have to portage your canoe, and you have to once again pull your canoe from one lake to another through a passage that's not necessarily all that well indicated, because not a lot of people do it. But it is a secret place to be in canoeing Morgan Lake, because it's private. There's no access, water access, other than the portage from Half Moon Lake. I remember the yellow-winged blackbirds. I associate that particular bird with Half Moon Lake. That's the first time I saw them, I think. And you see both the red-winged and the yellow-winged blackbirds among the along the shores of these lakes. Yeah, there's so many wonderful lakes to explore in the area. One lake that kind of has a mystical quality in my mind is a place called Quail Lake. I'm going to pull together the photos I've taken from Quail Lake in the past, and maybe that's a place to go back to and with a GoPro and get some good video. You have to hike to it. Again, it's not a big lake, but again, that sense of isolation and the beauty of the desert and the magic of water and what it does to bring life to the desert in terms of the riparian environment around the lake and all the birds that are drawn to that environment. There's a group of lakes. Let's see, I have a hard time reading here. Okay, Canal Lake, oh yeah. Windmill Lake, Heart Lake, yeah. There's a area where there's one of the more well-known, more utilized camping areas is in the juncture of these three lakes, Heart Lake, Canal Lake, and Windmill Lake. Heart Lake is kind of a boring looking lake from a canoeing point of view, because you can just see it all arrayed in front of you. Why put a boat in the water when you can kind of experience the lake just by looking from the road? But Canal Lake, and to a lesser extent Windmill Lake, they have lots of things to discover when you choose to put your boat in the water and your canoe in the water and go out and explore. Canal Lake also offers, as do really all of these lakes, places where you see something interesting along the shore. You can pull your canoe up on the shore and do some exploring and hiking at various points around the lake. There are also islands in the lake that make things interesting. I just can't say enough about the beauty and the isolation of the Seep Lakes wildlife area of eastern Washington, south of the Potholes Reservoir. Potholes Reservoir is itself enormous, and it's an earthen dam that collects the wastewater from two major wastewater streams, Frenchway, Wasteway, and I can't remember the other one. And it's a lot of major fishing that goes on the Potholes Reservoir itself. There's the Mardon Resort, which is on the southwest corner, that's been around for decades, and walleye is one of the fish that is premier in the lake. And again, you can go on YouTube and see lots of video footage of potholes and what it's like to meander around the many little sand islands that exist in the upper reaches of the reservoir. There is a state park on the shores, Potholes State Park. We've camped there. We're not terribly fond of non-dispersed camping, but you pick the time of year, you can have a good experience. We went, I think, the second weekend in May some years ago, and had an exquisite experience, really because of the bird life. Oh my gosh, the birds. Oh, again, water, sun, bugs, their song. Again, it's just something to behold, to simply listen to all of the different kinds of bird sounds that you can find at that time of year, at that type of park. So potholes, I wouldn't rule it out, but again, pick the spring or the fall to do your visit, and you'll be more satisfied, more pleased, if you, like Benita and I, appreciate when there's isolation, some measure of isolation to allow you to more intimately commune with nature. Anyway, this is enough for today. Again, I appreciate your coming on Washington Secret Places. I will continue to be putting up video drawn from years of visiting locations throughout the state. I'm putting the slides into slideshows, adding music to it, like the DJ. So that's a fun thing to find a track that seems to match the mood of these nature spots. Hope that you enjoy the art, such as it is, that goes into these videos and slideshows. You'll also notice that Washington Secret Places includes videos about the activities of the Baha'i community here, especially in Tacoma, where I reside. It's no secret, Baha'is are building spiritual community in this location, as well as thousands of locations and localities around the world. If you are spiritually searching, find a Baha'i or their friend, find a study circle that you can participate in, put your foot into the waters of Baha'i-inspired community building. We know that this world is falling apart, which is one of the reasons why we escape to nature, but escape in itself has no virtue to it if we're not at the same time doing our part to bring about a better world. Anyway, thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.